Hey there, pre-algebra. We're going to just jump right into your assignment today to review yesterday's work. We're working with, as you can see, quadratic functions again. Remember, those are functions that when you graph them, either make a v that's right side up or upside down, okay? So let's review how to do these and do a couple right out of your assignment together to get you started. Let's do number one. So remember, when you're doing these, the best numbers to use for x, and you need to use more than usual to get both sides of the v in the right spots, right, are -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2, right? We're going to stick with that again today. What I would highly recommend doing is what I'm going to do here, is put a blank spot where your x is, and then just keep filling in a new number there each time, right? So let's put -2 in our big blank spot this time. So -2 squared is 4, right? And then 4 times 5 is 20. You're going to see that we'll have to probably adjust our graphs. They didn't put numbers on your graph like this, because you're going to have to adjust some of these to make your v's fit, and you might not count by ones each time, okay? So what I'm trying to do here, there we go, is get my eraser, and then we're going to put in a -1 next, okay? So -1 squared is 1, right? -1 times -1 times 5 is 5. What if I put a 0 in there? 0 squared is 0 times 5 is 0, right? And then if I replace it with a 1, a positive 1 this time, I get 1 squared is 1 times 5 is 5. If I put a 2 in there, I get 2 squared is 4 times 5 is 20. All right, so let's graph this thing. Notice we need to get all the way up to 20 for y, so we probably shouldn't count by ones. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It doesn't even really work to count by twos. What if we count by fives? So on our y's, we'll go 5, 10, 15, 20, okay? Number your y's always so I know what you're counting by, okay? Your x's, you're always going to use -2, 1, and 0, so you don't have to number your x's, but always number your y's so I know what scale you use. So like this time we're going to use 20, 10, 15, and 20, okay? So let's put our dots now. I'll use green for my dots so they stand out. And then -2, so -1, -2, 20. So our first dot would go here, right? -1, -2, and then 20. -1, +5, right? Goes right there. 0, 0, obviously it'll go right there. 1, 5 will go right there. And 2, 20 will go right here. So notice our V shape that we end up getting. So connect your dots into a nice V, put arrows at the end, and you're all set. All right, let's look over a couple of these other ones. Let's do some that maybe might be a little trickier. Let's see. How about number 6? That one's got a couple more steps. So before you start, give yourself a nice XY table. I'll do the same. Do this right along with me. All right, we're going to do -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. I got one extra box. That's okay. All right. Now, I'm doing number 6 because you're going to notice this has a negative sign at the beginning. Do you see that? Whenever you see that, that's a hint that your V is going to be upside down, okay? If you ever have that negative sign at the beginning, it flips your V upside down. So here we go. I'm going to rewrite the equation right here. And then remember, for the x, give yourself a big blank spot in parentheses. So you can just keep sliding in your different numbers each time. And here we go. Let's slide in our -2 first. So -2 squared is 4 times -2 is -8 plus 2. What's -8 plus 2? Different signs, so subtract and use the sign of the bigger number. -6, right? Okay, so let's erase and replace. Get rid of this middle piece. And this time we're going to put in a -1. Okay, -1 squared is +1 times -2 is -2. And then -2 plus 2, different signs, subtract them. 2 minus 2 is 0, right? So we end up with 0. What if we put a 0 in there? Let's do it. 0. 0 squared is 0 times -2 is still 0 plus 2. All right. Let's put our +1 and +2 in there, and we're all set to graph. Okay, our +1 squared is 1 times -2 is -2. -2, and then plus 2 is 0. Okay, and then let's put our +2 in there. 2 squared is 4 times -2 is -8 plus 2 is -6 again. Okay, so now we can graph this thing. Can we go by ones this time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we can't quite go by ones because we have to get to -6. So let's count by twos, okay, for our y's. So we'll go 2. Again, show me your scale always. 6, -2, -4, -6. So I know what you're going by on your y's in case you choose a different scale than somebody else does. Okay, now that we've got them labeled, we can graph. I'll do that in red. So -2, -6, right? 2 to the left, 6 down. -1, 0, -1 to the left, 0 up and down. 0, positive 2, right? Can you see that how our V is becoming an upside down V? 1, 0, so 1 to the right, 0 up and down. And then 2, negative 6. So notice how we get our nice upside down V. Make your nice V and then graph your two sides. All right, let's do one more, and then you only have a few left to do. How about, let's do number 3, because that one might be a funky scale. All right, here we go. Making our XY table again. You know the numbers to use. -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And let's make our little equation right here. -5, big open space, squared. All right, here we go. If I put a -2 in there, -2 squared is 4 times -5 is -20. Ooh, big number. If I put a -1 in there, -1 squared is +1, right? Times -5 is -5. If I put a 0 in there, 0 squared is 0 times -5 is 0 still, right? And then if I put a 1 in there, a +1 this time, 1 squared is 1 times -5 is -5. And if I put a +2 in there, 2 squared is 4 times -5 is -20. So this would probably be another good one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, we're going to have to count by 5s again on this one. So number your scale, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on, okay? These are negatives, by the way. Put a negative sign next to all those. Again, show me your scale each time, okay? Then we have a dot at -2 left and right. So -2 to the left, -20 up and down. Notice this is going to be an upside down V. I know that because of this negative sign, right? -1, -5, right? 0, 0. 1, -5. So 1 to the right, -5 down. And then 2, -20. And notice our nice little V-shaped graph again. Okay. Hopefully that's making some sense, and maybe it's going a little bit better today. I know it was a little tricky for some of us yesterday. Hopefully you're catching on, and that's making some more sense. Don't be afraid to reach out and have me help you graph a couple if you get stuck. But here's the key thing. If you graph it and it makes a nice V, you know you did it right. If you graph it and it doesn't give you a nice V, either right side up or upside down, you know that it didn't go so well, okay? So that can be the ones you know to ask questions about. So hopefully it goes okay today and you end up with all V's when you're done. But reach out if you need some help.